Hi everybody, welcome to GoldenDomeFans.com. Today we got 1987 Heisman Trophy winner Tim Brown with us. Thank you very much.
My pleasure, man. My pleasure.
Let's start from the beginning, your recruiting process. What schools were you looking at, and what ultimately stood out about Notre Dame that made you want to come?
Well, I can only tell you like a little bit of the story. Otherwise, we'll get some people in trouble. But we were just talking about that a few minutes ago, and I was recruited by Iowa, Oklahoma, Nebraska, SMU, and Notre Dame, obviously. So for me, it came down to education. I was looking for a school that was offering a great education along with great football. Obviously, all of those schools have great football, but I don't know if they were really pushing the education part. And for me and my family, that was the most important thing.
Definitely. Along with education, the campus life at Notre Dame is definitely pretty special.
Right.
What stood out to you in terms of dorm life, campus life that made it unique?
Well, dorm life, living with regular people, not living with just athletes. And my best friend from Notre Dame ended up not being a football player, but a guy from China. A Chinese guy. I mean, we're still good friends till today, some 20 years later. So it's amazing that, you learn to be a normal person because you're around normal people. And to me, that was probably, I can't say more special than the football because the football was pretty special. But that made the Notre Dame experience quite special.
Yeah, talking about football a little bit, what was your most memorable in-game moment, would you say?
For me, strangely enough, the very first game I played in at Notre Dame, the very first time I touched the ball in the opening kickoff of the game, I fumbled the ball. And but that really taught me something because later on in the game, I was able to come back and make a really big third down catch. And in that span of fumbling the ball and making that catch, I think my career was formed because after I fumbled that ball, I was saying to myself, I'm going to go back to Dallas next week, and, I'm leaving Notre Dame, and this is not meant for me. I go home and just get me a regular job. And then you go out and make a big catch, and you think, oh, well, maybe I can play big time college football. So, so that game was very, very important to me because I don't think Tim Brown could have progressed if good things didn't happen for me in that game.
Yeah, I mean, going from fumbling your first touch to winning the Heisman Trophy in 1987, not too bad. What did winning the Heisman Trophy mean to you personally?
Well, for me, man, it was such a team award because I was returning punts, returning kicks, plus I was a receiver. I had to rely on my offensive line blocking, my quarterback giving me the ball, the other guys running the right routes so I could get open. So I really felt like it was a great team award, man. Those guys have really fought hard for me my senior year to get me in that position, and we just tried to take advantage of it. And once you win it, life really changes, because you'll never be called Tim Brown again. You'll always be Heisman Trophy winner Tim Brown. And from that standpoint, man, it was, I think for me, it most definitely was the single biggest moment of my sports career, even after playing 17 years in the NFL.
Yeah. Talking about the NFL and the college game, what would you say are the major differences between the two? And what is it about college football that makes fans and players so passionate about it?
Well, college football is all about passion. It's all about playing for the colors, man, playing for the university, playing for, what you stand for. And once you get to the league, man, it's a business. And especially once you get married and you got kids and you got the wife you got to, deal with, you got the kids, you got to get to school and all that kind of stuff. It's a different world, man. And people, you love the game, you play the game because you love it. But it's a job. You got to clock in just like everybody else who clocks in, doing a regular job. But in college, man, you're free to just, do what you want to do and just let all the emotions go. And that's the beautiful thing about playing college football.
Talking about the last couple of years, Notre Dame hasn't quite lived up to Notre Dame standards. What do you think that we need to do to get back to the top of the rankings as well as establish ourselves as a powerhouse?
Well, we have to play. We were talking a few minutes ago about playing with passion. You have to play this game with passion. It can't be let's go throw the golden helmet on the field and the blue and gold pretty jerseys and everything's going to take care of itself. That's not going to happen anymore. Yeah. Maybe back in the day, people got a little afraid when the golden helmets came out. But now, people are going to make you earn it. And if you don't have that passion, it doesn't matter what the record of the other team is; they can beat you if you're just coming and throwing it on the field. So I think if we can get back to playing with passion and playing this game like we're trying to defend our home and we're trying to defend our honor, I think we can get back. We have talent. We have the talent to get it done. I think we have a good enough coaching staff to get it done. Now we just have to put all this together and go out and play this game the way we can.
When talking about playing with passion, today's game came down to the same type of ending as last week's game, and we were able to pull this one out as opposed to what happened last week. What were your thoughts on today's game and how it ended up?
Well, it was huge. It was huge for the team. It was huge for Charlie, and without Michael Floyd being in the game late in the game. For these guys to come up with some big plays was a very big thing, and we got a couple big games coming. Now the Washington game has become a lot bigger than it was a couple of hours ago, but a couple of hours before the game. I think those are the kind of wins that you got to have in your back pocket. So when you get in these close games, you know you can win them. You didn't do it last week, but you came back and got it done this week. That's pretty important.
Definitely. You mentioned Charlie, and a lot has been made about his hot seat situation. What do you think of Charlie as a coach?
Well, I think Charlie's a good coach. I mean, I think his coaching style, his play calling ability and those kind of things are great. I think the one problem Charlie may have is he's not an emotional coach.
Yeah.
He's not a guy who's going to try and pump you up to get you to run through the brick wall. He's going to put you in the right position and expect you to make a play. So you got to have somebody else to come in there, and some other coach or player. Somebody got to hit the head in the locker, man. You got to have a guy like that. And it seems like they are playing with a lot more emotion this year than they've done before.
Yeah, definitely. Being a receiver yourself, obviously what sticks out about Notre Dame this year is their receiving core.
Absolutely.
Michael Floyd unfortunately went down today, but Golden Tate and Kyle Rudolph as well. What are your takes on those guys?
I think those guys are pretty good receivers, and I think they could be great receivers. I really do. I think they have the ability to really make some big plays, and I just need to get my hands on them, man, for about 10 minutes. If I could just mold them for about 10 minutes, I'm telling you, I think we can make them into something really, really special, man, because they can catch the ball, they can run routes, they can do that. Just a little couple little things that I see that I think if we can work those kinks out of them, they can really be fantastic receivers. But I love watching these guys. They're very inspirational to me because I think we have a chance when they're on the field.
One last thing. Going forward, if you could give one piece of advice to the team going forward, what would that be?
Man, play with passion, man.
Yeah.
Play with passion, man. I mean, a couple times today I walked by the bench when they were going in to score to take the lead right before half, and you got guys just talking on the bench.
Yeah.
Smile on their face, not even looking at the game, just chit chat, And I don't care if you're the 54th player on the roster, you got to be into the game. That's the guy who needs to be running his head into the brick wall, trying to get people going. But we got to play this game with passion, man. We've got to care about every play that's happening on the field, not just the guys who are on the field, but the guys on the bench also. And if everybody has that kind of excitement and that passion, man, there's no way people can beat Notre Dame. It just won't happen. Because I don't care what people say. They can talk about it all they want. When people walk into the stadium, they're a little bit, they know all the mystery and all this touchdown Jesus and all that stuff is there. They know about it. And, and I think if we come out and hit people in the mouth early on and let them know we care, I think we can, make things a lot easier for us.
All right, Tim Brown, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, brother.
Appreciate it.
My pleasure.